What is up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again. Today we have the very special, and let me tell you, very awesome 1998 Dale Earnhardt Daytona 500 Raced Win Diecast. It is finally here in the studio. Let's check it out. Alrighty, folks, we're out of the good old box, and let's dive into today's Diecast review. Guys, we're going to have a good story time today. You want to know why? Because I goofed up. I didn't pre-order this car. Let's just say it was out of stock at Circle B, and I've been looking for this car for months now. I've been like wanting to do a diecast review on it. I missed out. It sold out pretty quick, so that tells me they probably didn't make a metric biff ton of this. I got the Charlotte win I got to do a review on from 93, but I wanted the 98 500 one. I wanted to do a diecast review on it. Missed out at Circle B. It was sold out, so I had to go somewhere else, unfortunately. Had to pick it up, and finally we have it in the studio. But the story time is basically referring to you gotta pre-order your crap. I didn't pre-order my crap, and guess what? I didn't get it early on, so that's why this diecast review is a little bit delayed. So anyways, of course you want to shop at Circle B, you know what to do, guys. This is one of the greatest wins in NASCAR history. The 1998 Daytona 500. Dale Earnhardt finally wins the 500. I mean, people cannot describe how big of a win that was in NASCAR history. Every single February, we see the highlights of him going down pit road, all the driver teams and stuff. And they're looking at the three car. They're shaking, hands. They're giving them a high five. It's one of the coolest moments in professional sports, no matter stick and ball sports or motorsports. Earnhardt finally getting the Harley JRO was just so cool, man. So you got the Goodwrench Plus decal right there. Got the Monte Carlo. You have this silver on this paint scheme, which is really nice. We're going to zoom in here. Got the number 3. Got that beautiful bow tie signature. And it's still weird to see Chevrolets without the bow tie on top of the grill, because they ran that all the way up till the 2012 season. Got Monte Carlo there. The front end is a little bit skewed, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think that's a decal era. And the reason why I say this, or it could be, but at least from a stock car fan's perspective, one that understands a lot of the front ends of these Gen 4s, this is probably pretty accurate to the real car. The front ends were so skewed out on these cars. If you were watching the onboard camera of the 98 500 and Earnhardt was, behind that car, you would probably see the front end like this, where it's like sloped, it's curved, and it's stuck on the racetrack. It's got comp plasti lock, easy for me to say. Moog, Edelbrock, Sunoco, 76, or no Sunoco. This is before that, by the way. I think they came in 04. Union 76. Go to the left side of the diecast. So from my initial looks at this car, it's a pretty clean paint scheme, but that's not the point. It is a brand new casting, by the way. This is a casting that was released in 2018 or 2019 with the Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick 1998. I think it was the K&N East or West series. They had a different name for it. I think it was like Busch Grand National East or West or some BS. But from my understanding, it was the remnants of that series that evolved into the K&N East and West series, I think. Regardless, they used this diecast mold, apparently. And this is the underlook to it. It says 95 to 99 Monte Carlo. But it is an extremely accurate mold to the car. I love how thin the car looks, how aerodynamic. It really looks like a bullet. Yes, I know the windshield's a little bit popped out, but it looks so good, the diecast mold. They did a great job with it, and I'm glad they chose this one instead of the original mold. I think this one's a little bit sharper than the original mold in terms of the detail, the curvature. It's much more like a bullet when you look at it. You have a little bit of dirt or grime, something right there on the 3. I don't know if that maybe happened with the window net coming down or victory lane, who knows. Goodyear service, or Goodyear, I'm an idiot. Goodwrench service, snap-on. Got BK, plus, We Care. Again, the decal on the bottom for the silver is silver. It's not just a gray stripe. They actually did the silver, which looks great, I might add. Got the Dale Earnhardt signature. That is so cool. Got Coca-Cola AC Delco, like 5 stickers there. It says AC Delco, which reminds me of a funny thing. I don't know why this just popped in my head, but you know how you have the onboard camera? You can see right here. And there's a tiny, tiny Goodwrench decal there. You want to know a funny little story that I heard a couple months ago about Dale Jr.'s car? I think it was Talladega 2001, 2002. With the onboard camera, there's a little decal there. And the NASCAR rules at that time is that you could pretty much put whatever you want as a decal for your onboard camera, you know, for your sponsorship. Well, what Dale Jr.'s team did is they put like 30 of those decals exactly on top of each other, which created just a little bit of more downforce or affected the wind that would inevitably go across the top of the car, and it would put just a little bit less air on the spoiler, thus reducing drag, which increases plate speeds. And obviously at restrictor plate tracks, you know, the cars are so packed up, so that would actually help their speeds. Don't believe me? Go look at their onboard cameras once in a while from like 2002's Fall Talladega race or 2003, might have been 01 as well. But somewhere in that time range, you'll see a really tall Budweiser decal on their onboard. That's the reason why. They stacked the decals, and that actually allowed them to get a little bit of an aerodynamic advantage. I just think it's kind of funny when I seen the AC Delco logo stacked on each other. That's what it reminded me of. You can see all the vintage 1998 Winston Cup sponsorships. Of course, you don't see the actual Cup Series logo, but you get your NASCAR 50th anniversary decal. You get your Goodyear logo. It's interesting. Sometimes the Goodyear logos, they just had a straight logo there. Sometimes they had the curved arch. Nowadays, they have the curved arch. Get your exhaust area of the car. Now, unfortunately, it's not really tucked up to the body of the car. I've noticed that on a lot of Gen 4 diecasts. It's just a problem with the mold or something. Like they didn't design it as well. Not a huge deal. Go to the back end of the car. You have your, well, no taillight decals. That's kind of interesting. Got Goodwrench Quick Lube. What is it? www.goodwrench.com. Plus, got your red Chevy badge, which is really cool. Got a little bit of a decal overlap there. Go to the right side of the diecast. And again, this is not one of those raced wins that's going to have a ton of damage, a ton of dirt and grime. This is back when restrictor plate racing was pretty clean. I mean, yes, they have massive crashes, but it wasn't like nowadays where you could have an Eric Jones 2019 Busch Clash scenario and have a pretty destroyed race car and win the event. That's just not how it was back then. It was about having a bullet that could stay up front and keep your car clean as possible. Nowadays, we see restrictor plate wins with a lot of damage on it. And the plate racing back in the 90s was so different than even what it was in the mid-2000s. I mean, the packs, every year the packs started to get a little bit more dense each year. But back in the Gen 4 era, you would get some plate races that would have 5-car breakaways. I'm talking a straightaway away. And it would be between 5 cars for the last 35 laps. Nowadays, we have 25 cars within like 10 seconds of each other. And anyone can win it. So it's kind of interesting how plate racing has evolved so much. We already touched on the Goodwrench decal there. And once again, get GM Performance Parts, AC Delco, Rapid Fire. There's a little bit of a decal right there. I imagine that's somewhere to do with the wedge post. Maybe they put a marking tape there. But this is probably the most accurate release of the 1998 Chevy Monte Carlo because the front end is so cool looking. And I think they use this exact same tooling for the 98 Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick cars. But the reason why this one's even better is it has that window bar print that's actually matte. Now this one right here, the sun visor, it's kind of subjective because some races you might not need it. Like if you're running a night race at Bristol, you might not need it, right? So it would make some customs potentially a little bit goofy, but regardless, having the window bar detail makes it look really cool. Yes, I know the windows are a little bit cockeyed here. Fun fact, a lot of the Gen 4 cars actually had a little bit of a goofy side window, I've noticed. When you look at some of like the Ford Tauruses from the Winter Circle line from like 03 and 04, the side windows are not always like properly flush with the side of the car. They're kind of goofy, so I'm okay with it. My point is, this is an awesome diecast. I would say run over there at Circle B and get yours today, but unfortunately, it was sold out. Maybe they'll have more of them, but what an awesome diecast. And I've said this probably 100 times on the channel already. They need to do more NASCAR classics. I'm so tired of them only doing like 3 or 4 NASCAR classics a year. Like, there's like 1,000 different NASCAR races they could go back and do a race to win for that never got made. I don't know. That's just me. You have plenty of choices to make. I still think they should make the 2003 Darlington finish. It's been 20 years. 21, it's probably 22 years by the time you're watching this video. Go back and make that win. Make the brand new Pontiac tooling with the action mold. It's never been done before except for the club car, which was a Jerry Nadeau. So they didn't make a bunch of them, right? One driver for a diecast mold didn't make a bunch of them. So it would give fans an incentive to buy that. Then you could have the Kurt Busch car. I'm pretty sure they could get a lot of people on board to make that. And then you could have a brand new tooling for the 2003 Ford Taurus with the action mold. You would have 2 brand new diecast molds for the most iconic finish in NASCAR history. It's not the closest finish anymore, but it's certainly the most iconic. I think it would be great. And I know I would do a diecast review on it. And judging by how many people buy the 2003 Ricky Craven 124 and make customs for it, yeah, that car is actually rare, by the way. Like the 03 Tide car. They could remake it, and there is a legitimate market for that diecast, by the way. The race to win. And I'll even go to another step to it. That car actually had confetti on it in Victory Lane. A lot of people don't know this. So they could potentially make one that has confetti on it. They could just make one that has the photo finish, and then they can make another version that's the Victory Lane that has confetti on it. My point is, there are so many great race to win cars that never got made. And they only make like 3 or 4 of them a year. It's really a shame. And I'm talking popular drivers, by the way. Popular wins, popular drivers. They should do it. Enough of me ranting. Thank you all for watching. Have a blessed one, everybody. Diecast Buffet, signing off.